Welcome back to the video 2. In this video, we're going to talk about where to get started with it and how should be your job hunting process should be look like. In the first video, I mentioned unlike the other crash courses available out there or the tech guru says something, we are not following the approach. So what we're trying to do in this particular video is try to fix your routine. Now, there are three whys over here. One is your fix the routine. Why you have to fix your routine, and why you have to focus on your personal branding, and why you should be leveling up your GitHub and LinkedIn game. Now, the answers for this would be pretty much easy for you to understand at the end of this particular crash course. But yeah, in this video, we're gonna understand why it's necessary to fix your routine before you jump start into your job hunting. Now, it's basically comes with the imposter syndrome, which you basically know procrastination. For I'm well known for procrastination, and I've been doing this for years in my life. And every day you wake up and you kind of regret the decision that okay, you could have woke up a bit early and do some more task. That kind of affects your entire day, or maybe months, or maybe years. So this will tag along with what you do and what over goals you have. So to be summarized over here, a slight change in your daily routine habits can guide your life in a very different direction. Now, people who might wondering who is James Clear is, he is the author of Atomic Habits. It's a book, well written and known for time management, productivity, and all the stuff. So here in that book, he is talking about how a 1% of goal every day leads to a 37% increase in your overall changes in the year, and how that changes if you have not taken, how it you will be ending up over here, like exactly in the chart, right? So this is one thing which I want to discuss with you. The thing is, like, as you have registered for this course, you will be also getting the free version of the Atomic Habits book. So all these resources will be available under the job seeker, under the resource section over here. At the moment, I uploaded a ATS ebook. You can read it, and it's not mandatory to read it, but the more you know about the process, the more easy it gets. And whatever I'm discussing today is called day 2, initiate the new routine. All right, over here you can see something called the value of disappointment. Now you kind of start applying for the job at the moment. Now you will see a kind of stagnant phase where you don't see much of the resume getting approved, or you getting interview calls or something like that. As mentioned in the chart, you can see this is like a stagnant for some period of time. So this is called the value of disappointment. So these changes may not reflect, or whatever you doing, or whatever trying to change 1% of improvement in your life every day, that might not be reflected instantly. This is like a very long prolonged process. It might take some months, or it might take some 6 months or time to get your first job in whatever country you are living at, right? So these tiny consistent improvements are the foundation of awesome results. So this particular thing, the value of disappointment, so this is like a non-linear process. So any early efforts often lead to visible progress, and it leading to disappointment as well. So for example, what you can do over this value of disappointment is patience. So this significant outcome from compounding efforts are almost and every time delayed. So this requires a lot of patience, requires a lot of perseverance, and a lot of things. So don't get worried, like you signed up this for course and you started applying for the jobs, you followed all the steps. Even after 1 or 2 weeks, you don't get any much result. You keep doing it. If you apply for 100 jobs, there is a likelihood, a good chance that at least 1 or 10 jobs they will get back to you for this for the process, right? Now let's focus on our goals via system. So as I told you, success is more about like a system than just setting the goal. So you have a set of goals but you don't have a proper system for it, then it's going to be pretty hard for you to achieve your goal. For example, over here, there are three layers of behavioral change: outcome, process, and identity. So, the identity is something very core of process and outcome. So, if you fix your identity, if you fix your mindset, all the process towards it and outcomes is going to be pretty much easy for it. For example, identity is something called the beliefs you hold about yourself. What do you think about yourself? If you think that, okay, you are not confident enough to get a job, or you're not worthy enough to get a job, you set your identity, but rather you set your mindset as like, okay, I'm worthy for this job, even though I have not the skills. These skills are transferable skills and I can learn through the time period. Then the process is something carries the routine actions you follow, which I will be discussing in the habit loop. Then the outcome is something like the results of your goal, which you want. For example, if you want to get a job, that's your outcome. And the process should be something like you keep applying for it. And identity should be something like, yes, you are worthy to get the job. Now, coming to the third stage, which is discussed in the atomic habit. So, these all things are not said by me. These are all the things I took from the book, reading the 200 pages book and understanding what they are discussing and the core concept to you. So, the habit loop is something like there are four stages for it: cues, craving, response, and reward. So, it's basically like a repeated action became automatic through the reinforcement. So, it, cue is something like a distraction to use. For example, now we are living in the world of short form content, and you can see that every social media platform is using short form content, and our brain is rewired in such a way that we our focus time on something is very less. We get distracted too far and too easy. Now, the cues are a form of distraction. It can be something like having a phone when you are applying the jobs, or you feeling thirsty when you're sitting in front of the system for like 20 minutes. So, you should understand what all the distractions been happening in your surroundings and write it down. Then see the response for it. For example, if I see that I can get a lot of notification, I can take action something like uh, put the phone in silent, or put my phone in another room. Or if I'm thirsty, I always sure that, okay, make sure that, okay, I have a backup water in my room, rather than distracting myself and doing something else. So this is like a habit loop. So over here, what we are trying to understand is something like every habit influence your decision and your goals. So you should increase your awareness towards your habits. For example, when you're trying to focus, what exactly the distraction been happening, you can write it down. Now, one the clarity over here is something like you define when and where the new habits will occur. So you are pretty much control of your mindset. You know that, okay, when you're going to get distracted, and you know what the obstacles are, and you already try to remove the obstacles. Then the environment changes. You slowly start changing your environment. Some of you, in the book it says that the better thing to do is like change your environment. For many of you staying with your family, it may not be possible, but all these small changes, like as I mentioned before, can put a positive habits and differ against the negative one, right? Now I'm trying to focus here on more or like stacking your habit. Applying for a job, as I told you, why this video in the first place is like, I'm a person been in different jobs, maybe around 8 jobs through in 4 to 5 years of timeline. And I know it's pretty boring and tough task, if you are a beginner to get it without an experience. And you try to do a job hunting, that's more or like boring task over here. So if you don't put that stacking habit right now, that's not going to work for you. You should define a set of goals, like how many resumes or how many jobs you are applying in a day. Then based on that, you build each habits. You apply for the job, you ask for the referrals, then you go for a gym, you do some external activities, you learn something else. So this way you can build up a stack of habits, right? So this also helps in daily behavior to increase your awareness. Now, I will show you how I do this to avoid my imposter syndrome. So I use the free tool called Google Calendar. I think many of you know about what is Google Calendar over here. So the Google Calendar will help me to color code my day and understand where my particular day aligns to, what all things I should focus on, something like that. If you don't want to use Google Calendar, you can use a notepad or any book or any A4 sheet, just a pen and pencil, anything works for you. So it's basically act as a to-do list, but it's not really a to-do list. All right. So let me show you my to-do list calendar over here. So this is my week over here. I'm on my vacation right now, and you can see a lot of things been happening over here. I don't have that daily job to do this week. So what I did is like I try to allocate my time and see how it's working for you. And over here you can see my wake up time is around 11 a.m. But it contradicts my sleeping time, so I'm getting a proper time sleeping. But yeah, I was trying to fix my sleep cycle as well over here. So you can see I try to wake up the next day around 7:30. That's my goal. But today I woke up at 10. It's not an achievement, but it's already contradicting to my sleep cycle. I sleep around 5 a.m. in the night. So because I work in India as well, right? All right. So the next day I try to reduce it to 9 a.m., 8, 7:30. So I know that, okay, this is the day I'm going to wake up, or this is the time I'm slowly trying to change my environment, right? So something like that. So I schedule my day something like this: some time for doing Uber, some time to do this particular application jobs, and these are my meeting schedules or something like that. If I want, I can do color coding, and this is a few things which I have to do today. So now I know, like, what, when I look back, what I achieved in a day, or what I'm doing or something like that. Or if you are a working person, you can also set your, this is my calendar during my work time. So you can set your calendar like this, and you know exactly where your time goes and where you have the free time. And in the free time, you can focus on something productive which you always like to do, right? So this is a brief introduction about how you, or how I manage my daily time. So we will jump right back into the to-do list in the Google Calendar in the upcoming videos. But this is like a brief introduction about what really happening. And over here you can even use, I'm using another tool called Rise to find my productivity time and allocate a productive time on, for example, job application requires a lot of active listening and active state of brain, so which you won't be, you should be doing in your productive time. So if you understand which one is your productive time based on your sleep cycle, you automatically have an energy to do it. So that's how the things works over here. And I will jump back directly into the imposter syndrome again. But this is the end of this video one. And in the next video, I will be talking about the atomic habits again with some more tools which I will be introducing to you. So when we kickstart our job application, you already familiarize with the